Okay, so just a quick thing to show you. Once these leads actually come through and then make it through the automation, of course, as you might recall, we had that create opportunities section where we actually assign them into a pipeline. One thing that you'll click on is opportunities on the left-hand side, and that will actually get you to a page that looks like this. And once you get to your real estate pipeline, for example, you can kind of see all of the people that have come through. You can actually click on their information and you'll have like their phone number and stuff on the left. Sometimes these people, when they come through, they'll enter in the wrong phone number or the number will be without their country code. And if that happens, then the messages will actually end up failing. And so what you want is for the messages to obviously go through. And so you can just update the phone number on the left-hand side where it says phone. And okay, so as you notice here, this particular contact, whenever we send automation, we sent these SMSs or these WhatsApp messages, it says message undeliverable. And the reason why is because that phone number is likely not real, or there could be some issues with the phone number itself. So it ends up saying not valid. So at this point, whenever you identify this, you can do one of two things. You can obviously update the phone number. If you know the actual rest of the digits look like a specific country code, then you can just update the country code there at the very beginning, save it, and then basically use WhatsApp. If they chose WhatsApp as their preferred method of communication, you can then select the template there, and that template would be like the first greeting, and this will at least kick off the conversation. Now, if you want the full automation to work, you're not going to want to use this. You're going to want to actually re-enter their information back onto the web form with the correct or appropriate phone number, and that will kick off the automation again. Otherwise, what will happen is it'll just send this first message, and if they respond yes or no, there will be no follow-up message because they're not actually a part of the automation anymore. So just be careful about that. If you catch these leads early enough and you update the phone number, it is possible that they'll still be a part of the automation because they just came in the funnel. But once they make it past like the 24-hour mark, you're going to have to re-enter them back into the funnel. Alternatively, you can choose SMS or email. And these are the other methods of communication. Of course, if their phone number isn't correct for WhatsApp, it's likely not going to be correct for SMS. So at that point, you could just choose email and then write your email by clicking this tab and then typing in your message here. So all methods of communication are fair game because they submit the form, but just make sure that if you maximize these leads for each one, then you're going to actually contact them at every possible touch point if one of them fails. And lastly, just to make sure that you understand how to get to these contacts, there's a couple different ways you can do it by clicking on opportunities on the left-hand side and then selecting the actual contact's name, or you can choose the conversation icon. So you have a couple options. Obviously, you can call them. You can do a couple other things here. You can add notes by clicking on the little note icon. You can add tasks and add them to calendar, all kinds of things you can do here. But what we're going to be looking at is viewing the conversation. So to do that, click on the person's name, or you can click on the conversation icon. It'll take you to the same page. And then on the left-hand side, you'll have all their contact information. In the middle, you'll have their conversation through the automation, whether it happened or not. And anytime you see like a red exclamation mark or this red triangle with an exclamation mark in it, that means that there was an issue with a message being sent. Likely they blocked you, something like that. On the right-hand side, you will see the actual customer's journey whenever they land on the form, whenever the form was submitted, and where they came from. And in this particular instance, we are tracking that they came from a specific campaign with the UTM medium test number 3. I guess this is the ad set, and then the actual advertisement or the creative at the very bottom, which is one of the ads that we created earlier. So you can actually see where they were coming from and know exactly what ad's working best based off of this information.